Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As we are in the month of Elul, we seek to draw closer to God, and traditionally there is a bit of text from Psalm 27 that we sing, Achat Sha'alti. It is not in our Siddur, but if you know the melody or the words, please sing along with me. Achat shalti meit Adonai oto avakesh. Achat shalti meit Adonai oto avakesh. Shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai. לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני אותו אבקש. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני אותו אבקש. שבתי בבית אדוני כל ימי חיי. לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו. We turn to page 124.
It sounds funny, right? Okay. 'Tis the season of apology, so we're going to apologize regarding our sound system, and moreover, apparently we missed the mark regarding our Yortzeit list, so on behalf of the temple staff, for those names who are not on, I have them now, I sincerely apologize for the mishap. Ryan in the back, he's going to try to fix our sound system. It's a good thing it's not going to happen on Wednesday night. I hope that's correct, Ryan? Yes. Okay. Let's just skip 124. Let's go to 120 and light the candles because I sound like an anthem announcer. 120. For those who are able, we rise together for Kiddush, top of page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כיוונו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
We continue together to the top of page 127. There are days when we seek things for ourselves or measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if for a hoard of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand and wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act and care nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty, a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We turn to page 130, Psalm 95.
לכו נרנן על אדוני, נריע לצור אישנו. לכו נרנן על אדוני, נריע לצור אישנו, נקדמה פניו בתודה בזמירות נריע לו, כי אל גדול אדוני ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים, אשר בידו מחקרי ארץ ותועפות הרים לו. אשר לא הים והוא עשהו, ביבשת ידיו יצרו, כי הוא אלוהינו ואנחנו המריתו בצאן ידו. And we turn to 138, the pinnacle of Kabbalat Shabbat. Join me in singing Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor וזכור מרים ברכה תשמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשם בתחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
For those who are able, we rise together to greet Shabbat Melka.
Bo בשלום עטרת מעלה גם בשמחה ובצהול לתוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לחנדון לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחנדון לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
The bottom of page 145, we continue together. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There's no place on earth without the presence. We stay right here at Chetzi Kaddish 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחי לכל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם, ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. בריחו לאלה מן כל מלאכתה בשירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן.
We rise together, 146.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada-dai-dai-dai, 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 yada-dai-dai-dai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam ba'ed, Le'olam ba'ed. Yada-dai-dai-dai, 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 yada-dai-dai-dai.
Please be seated. We continue together at the top of page 149. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way in which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. On the next page.
Ahavat olam et Yisrael, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח מדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נחגה יומם בלילה. באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד, שם כבוד, מלכותו לעולם, לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Continue together at the bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be at one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Our song of freedom, Armi Chamocha, on the next page.
מי כמוך מעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושי פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה. לי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
That should get us in the mood. The bottom of page 161 together. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter and the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours, or Hashkivenu 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Behamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Vehamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Vehamidenu shomreinu lechaim, lechaim, lechaim.
163. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable, without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Vishamru 162.
Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת מי נפש.
The the middle of page 165 together. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. For those who are able, we rise together for Tefillah 166.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Mekonei Hakol וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גימול לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע מוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ברופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך פנימית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We continue together at the top of page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue with our Ritzei on the next page.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael U'tefilatam me'ahava tekabel U'tehil leratzon Tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael amecha El karov lechol kore'av penei elav hatecha b'choneinu shefoch ruchacha aleinu b'techezena eineinu b'shuvcha l'tzion המחזיר שכינתו לציון.
179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Make a temperate reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol ha-shalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol ha-shalom. Netov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. We take a few moments for private prayer. Yihul ratzon imre fi, Yihul ratzon imre fi, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Oseh shalom bimromav, יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen.
At this moment in our service, we think of those in our community, those especially who are in need of healing of body or spirit, Temple Emanu-El, we are especially thinking of Linda Baker, Sophia Barry, Margaret Bell, Barbara Keynes, Orit Cohen, Richard Epstein, Joel Kahn, Mindy Kahn, Arsen Kalahoff, Cindy Land, Marilyn Leeds, Jeffrey Lemberger, Richard Magnani, Michal Mizerowitz, Paul Mosteller, Stephen Muss, Ron Ostreicher, Malka Bath Rachel, Nathan Ruha, Kathy Shakeman and Robert Shakeman, Jerry Sklar, Mike Staff, Nathan Thompson, Alan Unger, and Kimora Womack. For those who are with us tonight, if you're thinking of a loved one, a friend, someone who means so much to you and you wish to share their name out loud, we invite you to do so either by rising or at my eyes meet yours. For those names mentioned out loud and for those names that are still in our hearts, our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing, 371.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Good Shabbos, everybody.
Good Shabbos.
Yesterday, Jeff, Canner, and I, and Mark, we were going over every cue for Rosh Hashanah, Erev Rosh Hashanah, and all of Yom Kippur. And we all recognized the serious in the room that for the first time in 85 years, give or so, these high holidays are going to be theologically brutal for many of us, that we have not been in this territory in years. When we get to the Unat HaTokef, especially, who will live and who will die, who will reach the ripeness of age, who by famine, who by stoning, we empathically recognize that it is theologically maddening. And so we are trying to prepare this congregation to understand the seriousness of these high holidays. And as I learned in rabbinical school, just because something is new doesn't mean that it is good. And I know for us, our imperfections, we go through that cheshbon nefesh. This is different. And again, the brutality of the dates, the calendar proves itself once more. October 2nd, October 7th, Yom Kippur. And so in a way, as we try to prepare you for these days of awe, we can find some type of connection throughout the book of Deuteronomy. Because when we get to the book of Deuteronomy in itself, in Latin, it means second law. It is a repetition of the commandments. It's Moses reinforcing to the Israelites his and God's expectations that they try to understand living in Eretz Yisrael without Moshe Rabbeinu, without Moses, our teacher. And throughout all the parshiot of the second law, these are series of homilies, these are sermons speaking directly to the Israelites to ensure they get it. And here we are at Parshat Nitzavim, Tem Nitzavim, you plural, you are all standing. We're beginning at that end moment. You are all standing here. Before October 7th and before this parasha, I always understood the Nitzavim moment, the Sinai moment. I call this the Great Return. I teach that I don't like the word conversion. It's too medieval for me. I like that we're all present, all standing together at that Sinai moment. But now, when I understand the parasha in today's lens, I get a different meaning. So the first understanding, when we get to verse 14, but with whoever is here, stand with us today before Adonai, or God, and with whoever is not here with us today. So I want to talk about the now. This whole year has been a year of standing. Who stood with us, and the painful reminder, the apathy, the silence of those who did not stand with us. We're going to be wrestling with this for years to come. Again, we recognize who stood with us, and once again, I get countless emails from people throughout the state and this region saying they stand with the Jewish people. These are strangers. But then it gets a little bit more personal. Those we had relationships with, those community members we thought would stand with us, they didn't. Then we get to Nachmanides' teaching that Moses is speaking of future generations because parents and children are like trees and their branches. That just as the potential of branches is contained in the parent tree, so future generations will be there. And they are bound, these future generations, to this covenant. Again, it's hard to understand future generations. Because once we get through October 7th and once the wars come to an end, we still haven't calculated the amount of potential loss, potential Jews that may have existed. I always believe in hope. And as we engage in these high holidays, and we personally and collectively wrestle with this understanding of the future of our people, I want us to remember that if we're supposed to understand that we all stood together and that future generations will stand together once more, I can't think of a better parasha that calls for unity for the Jewish people once more. It's soon going to be October, and then when we get the first week of November, I know how we're going to get. But political divisions, they don't define us. This text, what's behind us, this defines us. So once again, we recognize that what is new is not good. But that doesn't mean that we can live our best selves moving forward. We have an obligation to do so. As the war intensifies in the north, as the political fervor is going to be exacerbated, I know many in this community will get angrier, getting their Torah from cable news rather from the text itself. Just remember this standing moment. If not for us, for our children and our children's children. We'll get through these days. We did it 85 years ago. We did it in the 19th century. We did it in the medieval period. We did it in 586 BCE. We will not be the generation that doesn't write its next chapter. Shabbat Shalom. We rise together for Erev Shabbat 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. I want to apologize once more for those names that were mistakenly left out in the printed pulpit folder for the yahrzeit list. For those who came to me and notified me, we sincerely apologize. I know for many of you, this is the first anniversary, and again, we apologize for this error. I can promise you, though, even though they're not on the paper, we made sure that they are on the live stream. Again, our sincere apologies. On this Shabbat, we recall the yahrzeits of Lynn C. Alexander, Evelyn Allen, Arnold Altmark, Rose Abraham Bayer, Gertrude W. Beck, Maurice Berger, Sadie Berman, Beatrice H. Blumberg, Jack F. Broda, Dudley Burwell, Salvador Cahin, Howard Cohn, Alfred Freeman, Selma Friedman, Marilyn Ginsberg, Murray M. Gold, Ruth B. Goldstein, Brian Grodner, Paul P.J. Harwood, Shirley D. Harris, Geraldine W. Heyman, Joseph E. Hirsch, Sylvia K. Einzelbach, David Cantor, Hannah Kaufman, Nessie Kessler, Bertha R. Kessler, James Hellsberg, Rosine Hellsberg, Barbara S. Herman, Edward L. Cantor, Harry J. Kuhn, Marvin Lazarus, Norm Levinson, Nathan Lewis, Faye Lewitz, Cecilia Nunman, Mo Perlman, Babs Perlman, Louis Pernia, Bernard Pivo, Luna Pihai, Myra Edith Rathmel, Alice A. Rosen, Joseph Rosenthal, Howard H. Sisson, Mary Solomon, Myron J. Sternman, Max Stern Sr., Minnie C. Wald, Leonard Wertheimer Jr., Mabel B. Skyer. Our heartfelt condolences in the recent passings of Marilyn Lynn Bates, Lydia Cutler, James Klein, Robin Lazarus, Jerry Leader, and Joel Rotenstreich. May all their memories forever be a blessing. If it is your custom to rise for a Motor's Kaddish, we invite you to do so on page 598. Yikadal v'ikadash shemei rabbah, B'yomad yivrach rotei v'amlich malchutei, B'chayachon uv'yomechon, uv'kayed akol Beit Yisrael, B'agala u'izman kariv v'yamru,
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach li'olam alamei maya, Yiparach v'hishabach, Yipar'ar hitromaham mitnaseh, V'tadar v'talel v'talel, shmei rekutsha, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damin ram yoma v'yumru,
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chaim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yumru,
Amen.
O say shalom b'imromav, Huya say shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yumru.
Amen. O say shalom b'imromav, Huya say shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael me'imeru. Amen.
We conclude with Hatikva 678.
Kol od balema v'penima, nefesh Yehudi homia, ulfatei mizrach kadima, hain letzion Sophia, od lo avda tikvateinu, Hatikva בת שנות 2000, ליותם חופשים בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. ליותם חופשים בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים.
Good Shabbos.